What's going on, guys? It's 5 o'clock and you're off clock with B. Scott. Today, we have a very interesting guy. His name is Roe Reynolds. He is a Team USA trap shooter. He also guides in Alaska and Idaho and does many other things. His family, they have an outdoor store where they sell dog collars, accessories for dogs, construction. Really, it seems like they're doing a lot in every direction. These guys have a pretty crazy story on how much he's accomplished in the short amount of time he's been doing it. So he's going to tell us how he got there and where he's trying to go. Let's get into it. So, Ro, first of all, thank you for coming today.
Thanks for having me.
And looking at all the stuff that you're into and things you're out there doing, you got a pretty big, wide spectrum from guiding to shooting to the dogs. I mean, how old are you?
25.
I mean, you're conquering a lot really quickly, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, big time.
Let's just go ahead and get into from the beginning. Let's start from the guiding. How'd you get into that?
So it's a pretty funny story on the Alaska part. But when I was, I guess, 18, I just graduated high school. My mom booked a bear hunt in Idaho. And I went up there. I killed a bear. She killed a bear. And become really good friends with the outfitter and all the guys and all that. Well, they had a young guy that was working there. I hope he don't watch this, but they was just bashing him. And his only job was just to haul hunters around. So next year I call him. I'm like, y'all are bashing that old boy. If y'all want some help or whatever, I'll come up there. So I end up going up there, spend 63 days up there with those guys and got my guide's license and all that. And then just for about the next 3 years, went up there every year. At one time I was going in the spring and the fall, but I actually didn't go this fall because I was in Alaska, but I think I'm going to go back this spring. So
that's in Idaho, right?
Yeah.
So you got a guided hunt with you and your mom, and then you was like, hey, I like this. This is something I could do.
Yeah.
And how did y'all hunt them? Was it with dogs?
Yeah, so we use dogs. We actually, a little on the method, we do what they call rigging dogs. I think I give y'all a picture of my white pickup. But put dogs up on top of the box, and then we just pretty much drive around on the road. It's pretty funny because you're just like behind the logging truck with dogs on top of top of your pickup. And then, of course, they'll blow up, barking, smelling. You'll unclip them, and the race is on. So
really?
Yeah, it's
I bet it's an adrenaline dump the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever hunted with dogs very much, but it's just something about a 300-pound bear running over the top of you.
Just elevates it.
Yeah, whether it's like across the road or whatever. And then you got somebody with you who 90% of the time has never seen a bear before. So you're trying to you're excited and trying to keep them from freaking out, and keep them from shooting you. And I've had some crazy stuff happen with clients that are.
Oh, I can only imagine. I mean, because you got so much, it's like for them, I'm assuming you're probably hunting black bear.
Yeah.
Is this right?
In Idaho, yeah.
So the temperament of black bear, they're not aggressive.
I mean, when they decide they're either going to have to fight to get out,
fight.
But most of the time they're just going to run off. I've been on some pretty crazy bay jobs, which is, have 30 head of dogs on one bear in a creek.
Do dogs ever get tore up by the bears?
They do a couple times, and then they learn to
kind of keep distance,
themselves.
Maybe.
Yeah. There's been a bunch of times we've been stitching dogs up on the side of a mountain. We carry all that medical stuff and all that.
Right, because you're out there. I mean, you're not like you're close to anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's times, it's like I always tell my hunters, even in Idaho, don't shoot me because I'm the only one that can get us out of here, and I will die before we can get to a road that somebody can come get me.
Because a lot of times they don't necessarily know where they're at.
No, they're lost.
They don't know, and if they haven't ever killed a bear before, say it's their first time, they're spooked out naturally by the fact that they're chasing a bear down by dogs, and they're fixing to have to go up to them. I'm sure they're spooked a little bit.
Yeah, so I've had, we've killed them on the ground, killed them in trees, but when people realize that they're fixing to be within feet of a bear, it's what we call the drive method, which is when you grab them by the shirt collar and you just drive them in there to the middle of the bay.
Oh, yeah, they get cold feet?
Yeah. We've had guys, we put them in holes. The guys won't go in after them, and which, of course, we usually sit there and talk them into it and call them bad names.
Yeah, just a little bit of peer pressure, I imagine. That's cool, though. So hunting with dogs, that's something you've done in the past, like before you went to Idaho? Is it?
Yeah, so I've had hounds my whole life. My mom's had hounds. My dad had hounds. Of grandparents both had hounds. Great grandparents.
So
had
inevitably
hounds.
you're gonna have hounds.
Yeah, it's just I've had to have one at one time. I've had tree dogs, squirrel dogs. I got a bunch of beagles right now. I run a lot of deer dogs.
Oh yeah. See, I that's the kind of dog hunting that I've done in the past. When it comes to just running, is deer dogs. And that's fun, dude.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It really is.
Bear hunting's a lot like that. You ever hog hunted with dogs?
Yeah.
So it's like a deer race, and then it turns into a hog bay.
Oh yeah.
And if it don't turn into a hog bay, you've got it treed like a coon. So it's like you getting
a little bit of everything.
Getting three at once, you know.
It's kind of like how they say elk hunting is kind of like turkey hunting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is. I like turkey hunting better, mainly because when you kill a turkey, throw it over your shoulder.
It's a lot easier.
Go to the house, kill an elk. You walk up a mountain for 2 days.
So do you do any like elk hunting or elk guiding?
I've never guided elk, but I have killed a couple. I've killed a 5-point bull and a spike in Idaho.
Heck yeah.
And then my mom was with me one time. I guess I guided her, but she
that
killed
counts.
a 5-point.
Put it on the board.
Yeah,
for sure.
Her bull. I don't know. I don't want to self-incriminate myself here, which I I was glassing from like 1.5 miles away.
Yeah.
And I knew she was on this big face. And sure enough, here comes the bull. And I got to watch the entire thing play out through a spot and scope.
Oh, really? That's cool.
It just like walked up to her and she's pow. Whacked it. It was so cool.
So do you and your mom do a lot of hunting together?
Yeah. So fun fact about me is my dad really doesn't care about hunting at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mom's hardcore hunter. I think I killed my first longbeard when I was 4, and she called it in, and I think she probably called every longbeard in for me until I was probably 15.
So your mom is what seems to be a badass.
My mom's a killer.
Seems to be a badass.
Yeah.
What does she do?
She has a dog and hunt supply. We own a store. It's like an outdoor store. We sell a lot of dog like tracking devices,
accessories and stuff?
dog boxes, stuff like that.
Cool. Where's that out of?
Yeah. Quitman.
Quitman?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. So y'all basically are in the, y'all do what you love in a way.
Yeah.
In the industry.
Yeah. As Mom always says, I don't sell anything in my store that I don't use. So
Yeah.
we try to keep good stuff, no gimmicky stuff in there. So.
That's right. Because, you're going to get what you pay for.
Right.
People that come in, they try nickel and dime you. You know how that works out.
Oh, yeah. So how much time does your mom spend up in Idaho and Alaska with you? Does she spend a good bit of time? Or?
She's never been with me to Alaska.
Okay.
I say that. We went fishing in Prince Wales, but as far as like guiding or hunting up there, she's never been. But there's times she come out for a week or whatever to Idaho and hang out and hunt. So
in Alaska, so you're guiding Alaska, I assume. What kind of animals are you guiding for?
Moose and coastal brown bear.
Really?
Don't ever book a moose hunt, ever. That's
Really?
like, I hate that.
Really?
Yes.
What part do you hate about it?
Imagine.
Other than being so big.
What county are y'all in here?
Dallas.
Okay. Imagine there's 6 turkeys in Dallas County, and 3 of them are jakes, and 3 of them are longbeards. And you can only kill one if it's within a mile of where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And none of them gobble.
It's tough, huh?
Yeah, you just glass all day. I mean, I glassed for 15 days one time and seen 2 moose.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a grind then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the days are so long. I mean, you're pulling 4:30 in the morning. Of course, now we're waking up. This guy's paid a lot of money to be there, so we're waking up, cooking breakfast, coffee, all that. Waking him up, taking him his coffee cup to his personal tent, and then, like a lot of times this year, I had another guide with me, and I'd wake up, slam a cup of coffee, and run up the mountain. Well, I can get to the top of the mountain to glass, and I had it down to like 30 minutes. I could get off of it in 12, but it took me 30 to get up there.
Yeah.
And it would take, the first day it took our client like an hour and a half. Well, I mean, your hunt's over at that point. Your prime time.
So you got to leave earlier.
Yeah, so I was ripping up the mountain and doing all the hunting, and then he pretty much just sat down there at the tent. And then I did actually see a bull, but it was 2-3 miles away.
Yeah.
I mean, we was glassing forever. And
once you kill one, that's when the real work begins.
Well, and that's the deal. When I was hitting on, a mile of here, if you kill one and you can't get it out in time, you're going to get some heavy fines.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we don't have anything but backpacks and float plane, so you need to kill it within a mile of the water.
Right, to be able to
Yeah.
do it.
So, yeah, like we would get landed on by Miss Allie. She's a park ranger. We're in a big park up there.
Miss Allie.
Yeah. She'd buzz us with a cub, land, get out, check all of our paperwork, and then just get back in the plane and leave.
That's
Wow.
so cool.
So,
That is cool. It's a whole different world out there.
Yeah.
I mean, how far away from like, when I say civilization, I mean like how far away from like civilization are you when you're out there?
probably around 80 to 100 mile.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't walk out.
Right. And
It's,
things go bad out there. I mean, it could be bad situations.
Yeah, we all have to be medical, like first aid certified.
Really? In case like a
CPR and
client,
all that, yeah.
goes
Yeah.
down or whatever it may be.
You know,
That's pretty crazy. So next thing on my list is shooting. So kind of walk us through when shooting started for you, competition shooting, primarily trap. How did that get started for you? And, how far are you planning on taking it?
so I started shooting, I guess, when I started carrying around that Red Ryder when I was about 3.
As everybody seems like.
everybody.
No, when I was about 10 to 12, I really just wanted to get better at shooting a shotgun. That's how it started. So I went to Tommy Lynn Browning's house, which my dad's been a good friend of his, and his daughter shot competitively and still does. And she actually just went to the Olympics in 2021.
Really?
Yeah. Got a
Heck
silver
yeah.
medal. So I just kind of went to learn how to shoot a little better as far as like hunting wise.
Yeah.
And then I guess Tommy just pretty much told me, hey, you got a lot of natural talent and you need to try to pursue this if it's something you want to do. So I did, and I went to my first international match in 2012, and it was in Tucson, Arizona.
Really?
And ever since then, actually, they're having one right now in West Palm Beach, but I didn't go. I didn't go to the last one either. But, like, they're not having anything selection-wise to go to the Olympics until next year. So there's really no reason for me
You
to
go ahead, Jake.
So how do you balance, obviously these are two very big hobbies with the guiding and the shooting team. How do you
It's
kind of...
extremely hard.
Okay, yeah. Tell me about like a year-to-year basis, how you kind of break it up. And
Well, that's
and deal
part of
with
the
it.
reason why I didn't go last fall to the last match
Gotcha.
because I was trying to knock out. So to get your guide's license in Alaska, you got to have 60 days in state.
Right.
30's got to be like under contract with an outfitter.
I got you.
So I was like, I really want to try to get that knocked out so I'll have it because I didn't want old boy to just be like, okay, I've used you for 30 days.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I'm going to jump around here a little bit.
That's fine.
The whole reason I ended up in Alaska happened in Las Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
How'd that happen?
I walked up, I was at the NFR and I walked up, it was at Cowboy Christmas. I walked up to this booth and just talking, of course, Mom and everybody, they're all shopping. And I said, hey, I guide in Idaho, whatever, blah, 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 blah. We're talking. He goes, well, you want to come to Alaska? I said, all you got to do is say when. And that was pretty much the conversation.
Yeah.
So like 4 months later, he texts me, you still coming? I'm like, yep. Doesn't say anything back. It's like the middle of August is when I'm supposed to be there. He texts me like halfway through July, send me your information. So I send him all my stuff.
Next thing you know.
2 weeks before he's supposed to be leaving, he texts me, hey, I got you a flight book for here. I'm like, what do I need?
Yeah. Like there's, I need to fill in some
Yeah.
blanks
So
here.
the guy that I was actually talking to in Vegas, he was with a client like out in the bush when I got there. So I sat there for 3 days and I'm sitting there going, these guys are abducting me.
Yeah. And
I'm
I
in-
obviously
I'm in the
signed up
middle
for
of
something
nowhere.
wrong.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's me and the outfitter. Love the outfitter to death. He's a great dude, but he's kind of a hermit. Like he doesn't-
yeah?
Yeah. Doesn't talk much, but he's the real deal. He's master guide. But we're just sitting there in this little lean-to cabin for like 2 or 3 days. And finally he's like, okay, we're going to go get Matt now. The relief of seeing someone that you knew, because
Yeah,
I knew,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
it's real.
Yeah,
Because up to that
yeah.
point, I'm like,
And as the
literally-
days go on, it gets worse.
yes.
You're like, well, maybe you're just
Yeah,
thinking of
it's
more,
so
more
bad. And I'm
crazy
like,
things in your head.
when's he going to try to kill me? You know what I mean?
So like, why are you looking at me like that?
Yeah.
You're just like,
Yeah.
I can keep
Just
my
on
eyes on you.
edge for
Yeah.
Yeah,
48 hours.
Yeah.
That's,
But
that's wild.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
no, it was definitely
Do you like it up
crazy.
there?
Yeah.
Like just the
it's-
scenery, the
I like to do things. This is probably gonna sound arrogant. I like to do things that a lot of people don't think that they would be able to do, like
Right.
sleep in a tent for 22 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stuff like that.
No showers.
No,
I mean,
I went 20. If there's any good-looking women out there, don't listen. I did go 22 days without taking a shower.
I one with nature, dude.
Yeah, it's
You're on
it's a
the
different
wild
world.
side.
Well, I bet you're not sweating much at least. So
You actually are.
really,
Yeah. Yeah, it was really hot this year while I was out there. Like, I wore a T-shirt most of the time.
Really?
Mhm.
Well, what kind of degrees is it? I mean, generally.
I mean, it'd get up to like 50 or 60, but then you rip up a mountain.
You're also, doing a lot of
you're
hiking and stuff,
sweating
which
bad.
we were in New Mexico when I killed my first elk, and we actually killed it in Hell's Mesa.
Okay.
And let me tell you, that was brutal.
Oh, yeah.
I lost the camera guy for like 6 hours out there. It was rough, dude.
I lost a hunter. Well, I didn't, but we lost a hunter one time.
Really?
Like,
man.
lost a whole person.
How'd that happen?
Well, we were running dogs, and we bayed, and all the hunters had already killed. We was just kind of hunting for fun. So we scream off the mountain, get down to the creek bottom. Well, one of the other guides had the hunter with him. Well, he thought that the hunter stayed at the side by side. Well, the hunter just took off down the hill. Well, I mean, he couldn't get around like we could. We've been doing it every
So
day
y'all
for
kinda
30
left him.
days. Yeah, we just run off and left him on accident. So we get down there, get the dogs pulled off the bay. Bear goes up a tree, whatever. We get everything. We go up the mountain. We get back to all the bikes. And like we had come in from the way the land lays, it's like a big drainage.
Right.
There's roads over here and over. Well, we come in like from here, four different directions.
Yeah.
So when we get back to the top, he's like, where's Mike at? We're like, is he not with you?
Oh,
So for 3 hours, we just drove around. We knew he had a pistol. There's no phone service.
Yeah.
So we was shooting, trying to hear him shoot. And then finally, I bet he walked 2 miles up a creek, and he looked like
He'd been
damn
through
when
it.
we found him. And he was scared to death, which I don't blame him. I guess
Yeah.
he thought we was going to leave him. But yeah, it was wild.
I can only imagine.
Losing people, especially like when you're liable for them, we really thought we were going to have to like call a helicopter.
How did
man.
he handle it? The customer was he upset?
So
or
he was a repeat client, and he knew that he should have kept up or not
Stayed
went
at
one of those deals.
Okay.
I've hunted with him 4 or 5 times. But funny enough, he actually, the next year, we sat down to breakfast. And he come back, like rebooked with us. And we sat down for breakfast, and he goes over to my buddy's little cabinet where he keeps all his tracking collars and gets one out, puts it around his neck, and he goes, "You ain't losing me this time."
no way, not this time.
Oh, that's funny.
Which, now, have you seen those radios, walkie-talkies that work from anywhere?
Oh, yeah.
Like all the way across the United States, you can use these walkie-talkies. Dude, that's crazy technology.
it is nuts. Yeah.
I mean, how does that even work?
I have not
me.
seen those.
Dude, they work good too.
Really?
I actually know one of my buddies, Grayson, and like his family has them. And we were at duck camp, and all of a sudden their walkie-talkie started going off, and it was his mom.
Really?
Yeah, she was in Louisiana, and we were in Arkansas. And we're talking on walkie-talkies here.
Yeah, I want some of those.
And they go all the way across the United States. It's
Really?
incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of them, but if y'all haven't seen those are sick. Like I'm getting some.
Yeah, I mean, it's when all of our phones said SOS, like absolutely no service, nothing, and clear as day.
Yeah, this walkie-talkie comes from the state over, and you're like, what the?
Yeah, that's wild.
I know.
We take a bunch of DeWalt batteries in the bush with us.
Yeah.
And then, thank you, Elon. We have one of those Starlink minis.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, we're streaming Netflix and stuff
That's sweet.
in the bush when it's raining. Yeah.
That is
It's
huge.
That is
FaceTime
cool.
anybody, and it makes it a little better.
Yeah, I've seen people out, like out in the ocean fishing deep, and where you just get no signal out there, and they'll use those Starlinks, and they work really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. DeWalt batteries are like gold, worth their weight in gold.
Oh yeah,
In the bush, yeah.
how do you gotta charge them? Solar
You just
or
take a bunch. Really? I think I took 6.
yeah,
But yeah, they're so versatile.
They are. Dude,
We jumped a 4-wheeler with one time.
I mean, you can speed up trim to a motor with DeWalt batteries. I mean, it's insane what
Lifesavers.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fixing to hook Briggs' little truck up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got to give him a little power boost. He's fixing to be DeWalt swapped. Like it's happening.
Yeah.
So all right, so we've heard about your mom. All right, she's a badass. She's out there killing stuff.
No doubt about it.
Selling dog collars, accessories, living it up. What about your dad? What do you do with your dad?
My dad is into a lot of stuff. He's done a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I guess the best thing to say is he's done everything from owning a car dealership to be in the House of Representatives.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's a busy man.
Yes.
Busy.
Me and him build spec homes,
Really?
develop subdivisions, and then run cattle and all kinds of stuff.
So I'll just do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we got fingers and everything all the time.
So when y'all go home at night, like y'all are together and you're just talking about things that are going on. Y'all got stuff going on in every direction just about.
Yeah, literally every which way. So me and Dad both base all of our stuff out of Mom's store.
Right.
So we kind of do, when you was saying go home at night, we do that from 9 to 5 there.
Right. Yeah.
Of course, Dad thinks about it 24/7.
Oh, yeah.
But,
It has to.
but I just kind of want to be like, turn it off in the evenings. But
Does your dad text you super early, like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, ever? Like he just can't sleep thinking about something, he texts you?
no, but I know that he
call you?
stays up, and then at like the first time that he thinks it's feasible to call me in the morning, whether that be 6:45 or 8 or whatever, he calls and he's just got like a laundry list. So we need to do this. We need to do this.
Yeah. See, so that's universal. We understand that now.
It's just dads.
See, my dad, what he'll do is, and if you're in a circle, like a 3 o'clock text circle, you'll be getting text at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and it'll be a list of stuff, or he'll be sending you videos. I mean, dang near every night.
Anytime.
And he's already on like old man sleep schedule. So he's out by like 6, and then he's up at 3, and he's just burning the phone up.
He's drinking
boy.
coffee and he's like texting everybody.
Oh, yeah.
My dad does that, and then it might be something. I mean, it's been stupid stuff. You need to weed eat the dog pen. I'm like, why do you feel like you need to
That's
tell
what
me
you're
that
thinking
first
about?
thing in the morning? Like, but
That's good stuff.
no, we
though.
get along.
That's
It's
good.
good. So,
That is good. Y'all are a very high functioning family, it seems like.
we have just a bunch of stuff all the time, everywhere, all the time is really the only way to.
So between guiding, do you hunt anything just for fun? Like do you deer hunt, duck hunt? I know you mentioned turkey hunting.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? If you had to do one type of hunting the rest of your life, nothing else, what would it be?
Around here,
Yeah.
definitely turkey hunt.
Really?
Yeah, it's my favorite. And I actually guided some turkey hunts for a while, which I thought that I was going to love, and I actually despised it.
Really?
1000%. Well, it's like when I'm sitting here looking at a bird and I know how I can go kill that bird, but I can't tell you and you're not capable, it just makes me mad.
Yeah.
I can
You know
see
what I mean?
that. You don't want
Oh, for
you don't want to mix like pleasure and business. It's like it's one of them deals too. It's like when I fish by myself, I'm walked in, I'm fishing real hard, trying to get.
Right.
But when I take somebody with me and I'm trying to get them on the fish, it's stressful.
Yeah, it's almost
Oh,
worse.
big time. Yeah. I mean, I've heard of guides who like it's completely ruined hunting for them.
Yeah.
Like they just don't want to.
And that's kind of what I told them about the turkey deal. I said, look, y'all going to get somebody else. I said, I've called in 3 birds for this guy and he's missed all 3 inside 30 yards. It's like, it's going to be bad because I don't even want to be around it,
Yeah.
I hate this guy.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit. Obviously, you killed a little bit of everything. Like obviously, we see this big cat here. Tell me what's like the most.
Oh, dude.
Well, we can talk about this first. Yeah, I just want to know about that.
Yeah, how'd that go down? Where were you at, first of all?
That was in Idaho.
Idaho?
Yeah. That the outfit that does the bear hunting, they do line hunting too. Which line hunting's cool. I don't like it because it's hard.
Okay.
So just imagine like walking miles and miles and miles a day in 30 inches of snow.
Yeah.
I mean,
see
you're just
that.
wet all the time.
Yeah.
The coolest part about line hunting is looking at the line, actually seeing the line.
Yeah.
But like the race, as far as the dogs after it, it's nothing like a bear. So like dogs will slow trail a line, and then when they what we call jump it, which like the line's actually running from the dogs at that moment.
Yeah.
They don't run very far, and then they tree. Whereas a bear, when you jump it, if the dog's not grabbing it like on the back end,
It's just gonna keep
it
running.
just keep going.
Okay.
So its first kind of thought process is I got to get up.
Yeah, so like a lion's lungs, they're a sprinter. They have little lungs.
Right.
Okay.
Where a bear is like more of a long distance runner and they have really big lungs. Like, so you'll run a bear and you'll run it for 3 hours and it'll cross the road and it won't even be breathing hard. You'll put a lion in a tree and you can tell
Puffing and puffing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
As far as the dogs go, do more dogs, you think, is it easier on the dogs, I guess, being a lion than versus the bear, obviously, because of less running? But what about aggression, like in the lions? Like, will you think a dog get tore up more hunting lions or bears?
No, bears. Because you catch more bears on the ground than you do a lion. Now there's such thing as lion killers. I mean, dog killers in the lion world. But, I really haven't done it a whole bunch. But I feel like if I would know if my buddy's dogs was getting killed by lions all the time,
Yeah.
But really, the worst thing that's happening now is, for some reason, Colorado is turning them loose. But in Idaho, they're getting what we call getting wolfed.
Yeah.
So we'll run in, get after a bear, a lion, or whatever, and tree it by the den, and then 4 or 5 wolves come in and kill 9 dogs.
That's crazy.
Just stretch them and leave.
See, I haven't heard about the wolves killing dogs, but I have heard about the wolf problem.
Yeah.
How you can't shoot them in some places. I don't know about what states or
I know
whatnot,
in Idaho, you see one, you kill it. I've seen a bunch of tracks. I'm almost 99% sure I seen one time, and of course it was like 200 yards away, and all I had was a 22 pistol.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's scary about dogs getting wolfed is like my buddy Joey, who owns the outfit. That's his livelihood.
Right.
There's a time we were doing 22 hunters in the spring, 22 hunters in the fall. Well, if you tree a bear on the second day of season and you've got 21 more people to take care of, and the wolves kill all your dogs,
Yeah, it's not
what are
very
you going
good.
to do?
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got to call everybody and say,
So I wonder why they're releasing wolves back into the ecosystem. But surely there's a reason.
uneducated people making decisions based on how they feel.
So they think maybe the wolves were here, we eradicated them for what reasons? Everybody, obviously, because they kill everything.
There's
that's
a
one
reason. There's a reason they're killed out. There's a reason why we killed the grizzly bears off, in the lower 48. But for some reason, they want to bring them back. I don't know why anyone would turn loose wolves in the lower 48.
I wonder if it's like a numbers thing. Like, is there like a surplus of, elk, or is there a surplus of some animal that they're trying to balance with the wolves?
I don't know. I know that they turned wolves loose in Yellowstone, and they just destroyed everything.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
They're just the ultimate killer. So, like, and talking about people being uneducated, just a little something on lions, that mountain lions get a bad rap for killing so much stuff. But this is like a lion. This is how a lion works. Mountain lion will take off hunting right here, and he might go to Sheridan and kill a deer. And he'll stay with that deer right there for 4 or 5 days till he eats all of it. And then he might go to Pine Bluff and kill another one. He might go to Fort Smith and kill one.
Right.
But what the wolves are doing is the wolves are trailing the lions, letting the lion, which they're way more efficient at killing stuff than a pack of wolves. They let the lion kill something, and then they'll run him off. Well, if you got a biologist that really doesn't know how that works, I mean, on paper, it's just mountain lions are killing everything. Mountain lions are killing
for all the kills.
everything. But in reality, it's the wolves. They're smart.
Yeah.
And they're a dog. They're just running, just free meal. We don't have to work that hard. Let the lion do it.
Yeah, they'll let the lion do the dirty work.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's really is crazy. I mean, you think about it. If you're in a bind if a pack of wolves run up on you.
Oh yeah.
Because they're just killing everything in the area.
Yeah. Yeah. That my buddy was actually the first person in Idaho to get wolfed, and this has been a long time ago. But
so get wolf. That's basically just get jacked up by wolves. That's what that means.
Basically, wolves come into your pack of dogs that's got game
tear
trade,
it up.
kill all of them.
And they do it and just leave?
Yeah,
or
they just do it out of spite. Like,
they're not
it's not
even,
like they're eating them.
Yeah. Right.
They just stretch them and leave.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you don't see that out of a mountain lion, like you said. I mean, they're trying to get out of there.
I mean, they're killing to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so now they're having to do more killing because They're killing for the wolves and them.
Mm-hmm. And that's what, like, on the collared, a lot of the collared elk and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they know when they die or stay in the same spot. Well, they go in, well, okay, it's a mountain lion kill. Well, why do you think they killed it? You know, they got to eat.
Yeah.
But they won't sit there and look at the fact that, okay, maybe there's something bigger as far as like the wolves, because, you know, that's how it goes. But
yeah. Man, I know one thing, though. That's a big cat right there.
yeah, that is actually not the cat that I ended up killing. That's a female.
Mm.
I'd never seen a mountain lion in my life, and I was walking some dogs, and looked down. There's a lion track. Dog put his nose in it, run 300 yards and treed that lion. That lion seen me coming up the road in the snow, and it's a pretty eerie feeling to. I mean, it's the ultimate predator.
Oh yeah,
that's what it is. And you're just standing like I'm standing there with a Glock. You know, it's like I know you can kill me, but that's one thing. Like that big Tom, the little female that was just up there, they look at you like kind of scared.
Mm-hmm.
But that tomcat right there,
mess you up.
he just looks at you like, I know I'll kill you.
They're so athletic.
Yeah.
For one, cats
They
are so athletic.
Yeah.
Even house cats.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that line there was actually breeding another line when we treated it. So I was walking, and we actually heard them. You ever heard a cat like when it's real cold and those stray cats on the porch sitting there like meowing real loud?
Yeah.
That's what they were doing.
So
Like,
y'all busted up in there.
Yeah,
Very vulnerable time
Yes.
for him.
That's exactly what
I bet
happened.
he was scared.
I bet he was mad.
Poor guy.
So
Yeah. It's tough.
I walk
out
in there with the dogs, catch her line. It's the little female that was just on the screen. And I get to look, and I'm like, I know they was breeding. So we get to look, and I see, okay, there's your Tom track, you know,
Yeah.
big track. So what we did is we'd kind of come in on it like this.
Yeah.
My other buddy had dogs. I had dogs, and that cat shagged out and left. And then when we found his track again, he'd come back almost to us while we had that female in the tree, and then turn around and left again. And then we put the dogs
Really?
on it and caught it. Yeah, he was wanting back in there in a bad way.
Wow. That's spooky, man, because they sneaking around.
Oh yeah,
You don't detect them because they're so sneaky.
yeah.
I mean, you can walk right by them and not even know they're there.
Mhm.
Mm.
Well,
They
just
gonna know
That's
you're there.
eerie.
Yeah.
Eerie.
them walking on snow and us walking on snow is completely different.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You're so vulnerable.
They're designed for that reason
Yeah.
right there. So Ro, let's get into, man, what is this taking you? Like, what are your goals? Where do you see yourself being? You know, is the guiding going to be your main focus moving forward? Is shooting going to be the main focus? I mean,
You sound like my dad. What are you doing? No, I like the guiding. I don't think I'll ever own my own outfit just because I've seen like the bad side of that to where,
yeah.
I mean, you kind of turn your favorite thing to do into a job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to proceed to keep shooting, probably not as serious as I have been in the past, but I do want to try to go to the Olympics. So I'm going to kind of strive for that a little bit. But
Once you hit that bar right there, is that something you're going to like put to rest?
yeah,
Or, so
Yeah, even
you're
if-
just looking for, you're going to check it off the list. That's just bucket list item.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'd be really cool if it happened, you know? But
Yeah.
also I've been around a bunch of people that have accomplished it, and one thing I learned, like, there's more to life than doing that.
Right.
Because when you go do it, you need to do it for yourself
Yeah.
because your life doesn't change. I mean, you're still gonna wake up and go to the grocery store, and
Yeah.
nobody's gonna know you in 6 months.
Yeah.
You know,
I can
mean,
see that.
You're gonna be on the news for 2 or 3 days at a Little Rock, but
Yeah.
nobody's gonna know.
Yeah. It's not like a life changing
Yeah.
event that like takes you through the rest of your life.
Yeah, I
off
mean,
that.
people in the shooting community will know, but I mean, my life wouldn't change any.
Right. So you're looking more like, okay, that's just something I want to achieve. I want to move on past that. And then I want to get to other things, you know, either, you know, working with your mom, working with your dad, expanding, whatever it may be.
I'm building spec houses right now, so
You enjoy that?
I enjoy the freedom that I get. If I was doing anything other than that, I wouldn't be able to go live in a tent for a month in Alaska, you know? So
Yeah.
that's kind of that's what I'm doing now. Of course, things change. You know, you might do something different down the road.
You
Or,
never know that one
sure.
thing that could get in your head and just take it over.
Yeah. Is there anything like that you want to branch out and guide for other than what you're doing right now?
Like a different animal, maybe?
Yeah. Or even,
I don't know. I would. I like dangerous game.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind, like, I don't know that I'd ever guide, but like go to Africa and kill or hunt big cats over there.
Yeah.
But as far as everything else, I don't care about impala. I don't care about any. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not
See,
educated on it, so I don't
Yeah.
care about it.
To me,
You know what I mean?
the safari stuff, the African, going over there and hunting all, the African animals and stuff, it's like, I just either, for one, I ain't killed a big enough deer yet, or I ain't killed enough turkeys.
You gotta take
It
baby
doesn't
steps.
turn me on. Just thought of going over there and killing something I
Yeah.
can't even pronounce.
That's- That's my deal. And so I've been around like just the types of hunters you get. I can tell you kind of
Yeah.
how they are
Yeah.
before we even get in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And usually when they say they've been to Africa 6 times, that's just red flag.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they just don't know how to hunt.
That's a red flag, huh?
Well, they just expect it to be like Africa, where you
Mhm.
Yeah.
shoot over the hood of the truck and here's your impala or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. As far as hunting wise, what I'd rather be doing than what I'm doing right now.
I'll tell you something you could go after it. You may have already done it. Alligator. Go
I was
alligator.
about to
haven't
bring
done
that
that.
up. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. We got a chance to do that this year, and it's pretty cool.
One of my good friends went to Venice and him and his wife killed one apiece, but he said it was nothing to it.
Nah, I
You
mean,
know.
you watch some shows and it seems real theatrical. Like everything's slow
Yeah.
motion, dramatic music dumps.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily all that. But I will say, Dad grabbed a hold of he had a rope and there's a 10-foot alligator on it. And we tell you, it gave him a good fight though.
Yeah, I bet.
I was nervous he's gonna get pulled in at one point. I mean, it did get hairy there. But
Yeah, that I don't know. I've never really thought much about gators. I don't know what else I would. I mean,
they
probably
stink
my-
though. They
Yeah,
stink
oh, I
bad.
bet.
That
I
was-
fed one at Venice.
It's horrible.
Last July. I don't know why. Well, I know why I fed it, but he was dumping fish guts and one come up there. I fed it. It wasn't very big, but
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I don't know. Gators really don't excite me.
So what about the fishing side? You interested in that at all?
As far as just fishing,
No guiding.
no,
No.
I don't.
Do you
Kinda
do any
the
fishing?
turkey.
Yeah, a little bit. Probably fished quite a bit with some buddies. And then we went to Venice last year, caught some swordfish.
That's
I'm
pretty cool.
actually in 2 weeks. I just booked this like 2 days ago, but going to Cabo and going fishing for 3 or 4 days.
It's pretty cool.
So
Cool.
So you don't know where your life's gonna lead you. You're just kind of.
why are you talking down to me like that?
I'm just saying. I'm
you don't
saying.
know anything.
You don't know.
Nobody
You
does.
don't know. You don't have a set exact destination. You don't have an X where you're trying to be. But I will tell you one thing. From everything I've heard so far, being 25 years old, you're running fast in every direction. So I would assume here shortly you're gonna figure that out. Wouldn't you?
I'm hoping, honestly.
Because surely you're tired of just
I am.
everything.
I am kind of tired of, all the guiding and stuff, but man, it takes a toll being gone that long.
Sure. Yeah.
So you're gonna have to figure out what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I guess until that day comes, we keep on killing stuff.
Just
And
keep on going. No, I got a pretty good. Like we said, there's so much stuff going on. I'm involved in everything that my father does and that I do. That I got a pretty general idea of what I'll end up doing.
yeah,
And it's probably close to the same business side stuff that
Right.
I'm doing right now.
Right.
Right.
I don't know where it'll be if I take the knowledge of that and go somewhere else or whatever and do it there, but I got a pretty good idea.
that's cool. That's cool.
So-
And it sounds like you got role models and people in your life that'll help.
Yeah, I got
Help guide you
a lot
into
of
that.
really good people that would want to see me succeed. If
That's
that makes
good.
sense.
That's good. That's really good. Well, man, I appreciate you coming.
Oh yeah,
Tell us a little bit about the wild ride your life is.
Yeah.
I mean, you live with everything, dude.
That's awesome.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that wraps this up, guys. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and check out our other videos. They're everywhere. Rumble, Spotify, YouTube, everything. You know the deal. Catch you on the next one.